Hey, 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 everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you're doing well. And it's time for our weekly track roundup, where I go over what I felt were the worst and the best tracks of the week. The good, bad, everything in between. It's all linked down below. If anything I've said piques your interest, if you want to check any of these tracks out, along with our, of course, our Turntable Lab link. We get kickback from that if you're buying a turntable, vinyl, whatever. Check it out. Just use the link down below. And also our Patreon page is, is linked down below as well. You can get some awesome extra bonus monthly content while supporting us at the same time. Also access to our Discord community. Check it out. All right, worst tracks. Worst tracks. Also, shout out to our other sponsor, The Rich. They're still making these awesome minimalist metal-plated wallets that are rugged and fit nicely in that front pocket. That link is down below, too. Shout out to them always. All right, worst tracks of the week. We have a couple. We have a handful. Let's kick it off with this new one from Trippie Red with a little Uzi Vert on it as well. Holy smokes. What a mediocre verse from Uzi. What bad singing from Trippie. I find it personally to be basically unlistenable. Not that into it, sadly. I thought we were going to get kind of a Life's a Trip throwback given the really awesome cover art here, but absolutely not the case. Not the case. All right, we also have a new one from Logic, My Way, who oddly enough vocally I think is sounding a little like Trippie Red on this track. Now, granted, I think in a way he's kind of doing Trippie better than Trippie's doing Trippie on this track currently, but it's still not that great of a song. I mean, the singing is definitely leaving a lot to be desired on this one. Come here. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Okay. Again, not that super crazy about the logic on this one. Singing is mediocre, and since he's been kind of coming back with some of these tracks, this one to me feels like he's trying to write just like a radio song or something. It's just not all that great, in my opinion. Not that great, unfortunately. All right, we have Iron Maiden, who is sounding pretty sorry on this new track, unfortunately. It's like a Ford F-150 type instrumental and guitar with like a little bit. It's like heavy metal with a country flair, very unappealing. And Bruce Dickinson's voice is not sounding great at this point, which is also quite unfortunate. Hopefully that ends up getting resolved soon. But the vibrato is actually like abusive on his singing on this one. He almost has as much of vibrato on his voice as like Jello Biafra, and he's no Jello Biafra. All right, we also have this one from Hayam. Cherry cut flavored stomachache. The last letter from your lover, coming from that soundtrack, I guess. And it's not a very good song. I mean, can anyone tell me what the bass is doing on this track? It sounds awful. This to me just kind of sounds like one of those throwaway studio cuts that a band or an artist has lying around. Where, they just have it kind of sitting there, and then, an opportunity to get a check comes in where you're like, oh, hey, do you want to have your song in this soundtrack or this other random brand affiliated thing? Oh, yeah, I'll contribute a song to it. Here's like this really like bad studio floor cut. I hope they got a good check out of it. That's all I'm hoping, I guess. All right, moving on from there. We have a new one from Andrew WK as well. This one over here is titled Everybody Sins. I guess he's maybe going a little Christian or going a little Christ-like on the new record or something. I mean, I think it's tongue-in-cheek as well. This track has almost like an old-school heavy metal flair to it. It's trying to be really dark and theatrical, but I don't think Andrew has like exactly that kind of vocal power on a track. And unfortunately, it's not nearly as spooky, harrowing, or campy as it needs to be, I think, to really kind of get its point across. All right, let's move on to the tracks that I thought were kind of meh. Not super crazy about them, but thought they were worth pointing out anyway. We have a new one from Torres over here, Thirstier. Another track from the forthcoming record. And this one has almost like a 90s alt-rock, you know, kind of like wailing vocal type of appeal to it. It's very angsty. It's somewhat dark. It's not too bad, but not my favorite single from this album cycle so far. We also have Wild Side, new one from Normani with Cardi B on the feature. Cardi's feature is quite nasty and vulgar and very, very horny. It's a very horny feature, which I sort of expected, but Cardi seems like almost like too much for a song that is this smooth and is this spacey and is this gentle. I guess I just wish both of them found a way to kind of match each other's energy level on this track. I mean, you know, for a song called Wild Side, the production is a little bit bland, so I think instrumentally and vocally, the track could have come up just a bit, just a tad. We have one from Teezo Touchdown over here, Mid, which isn't so much a song as much as I think it's like a really just interesting theatrical concept piece. I mean, I'm not like in love with it as a song, but it's still like a really interesting listen. I'll be looking forward to more Teezo Touchdown in the future for sure. We have one from CHVRCHES over here, Good Girls. I don't know why, but this to me sounds like an indie-fied version of Katy Perry's Never Really Over. I'm not too crazy about it. I guess I'd just rather listen to that song. I mean, it's not as unlikable, in my opinion, as some CHVRCHES songs that I've heard, but I'm just not really crazy about it. All right, we also have one from Caroline Polachek, who unfortunately on this track I feel like is really missing something. You know, there are definitely some eccentric qualities to Bunny as a writer, but it's also incredibly repetitive, especially on the chorus side, and there's not a whole lot, or I think enough vocal variations and instrumental layers to the track. It just sounds really redundant and bare to the point where it doesn't really kind of showcase the quality songwriting and flair that we've come to expect from Caroline up until this point. So, I don't know. Just really kind of neutral on this one, sadly. Let's move on to the best tracks of the week, the ones that really stuck with me, those being Ba-Bam, a new one from Yves Tumor, brand new EP is out now. This one, Crushed Velvet, that I want to point you to is fantastic. I'm really digging what I'm hearing from the EP so far. Comments on it soon, soon, soon. We also have a Romcom 2004, a new one from Soccer Mommy, which is a somewhat lo-fi or mid-fi grand little ballad with a beautiful, luscious instrumental. Really my favorite Soccer Mommy song to date, and I've not really been a huge fan up until this point, but this song is really something, in my opinion. It's really something. We also have Seconds Flat, which is a project affiliated with none other than Kieran J. Callanan. And this one's got a bit of a cutesy throwback pop rock flair to it, and is a meta commentary on writing music, streaming, labels, promotion, that sort of thing. I think it's very cheeky and very smart. Give it a listen. I like it a lot. It's got that unique Kieran flair. Bah. Are you okay? Are you all right? Bless you. Bless you. You all right? Okay. All right, you're fine. You're good. Little coffee, little sneezy. You all right? You'll be okay. Yeah, you good. All right. We have Lingua Ignota over here, killing it once again with another heavy piano ballad that is quite forlorn and emotionally impactful. Perpetual Flame of Centralia is the title of this one. I dig this one quite a bit. Really looking forward to the new LP, of course. And we have a new one from Kevin Abstract, Slugger, Snot, who surprised me on this one quite a bit, and slowthai, who also brings it as well. It's psychedelic. It's fantastically produced. There's a lot of variations to it as well. There's a lot going on in this song in like the several minutes that it lasts. It's really dense, creative, and I'm really looking forward to the new Kevin record off of this for sure. We have a Chief Keef, who is sounding absolutely insane and eccentric on this new track, The Talk. Give it a listen. It's really fun. It's wild. It's not super deep or substantive. We played it on New Music Friday, and for whatever reason, the chat hated it. But I think it's a banger. I'm just going to leave it at that. And, we have a new one from Benny the Butcher, Conway the Machine, and a great, soulful melodic hook on this one as well. It's very well produced, and Conway and Benny continue to show they've got great chemistry. Of course, of course. And Bad Bad Not Good have a fantastic new track out. It's a 9-minute monster. It's jammy, it's jazzy, it's fusiony. It's titled Signal from the Noise, and I'm digging that. The boys are back, and I'm really excited to hear that new LP soon. And we have a new one from Audiofreq and Lil Texas, Hardcore Maniac, and it is a hardcore monster. My God, this is one of the most distorted pieces of hardcore I've ever heard in my entire life. It bangs. Give it a listen. And that has been the weekly track roundup, everybody. You're the best. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you got some good recommendations out of this video, and I will see you in the next one. Anthony Fantano, Weekly Tracks, forever.